Sonnet 91, written by William Shakespeare. This sonnet comes from the first part of Shakespeare's 154 sonnets. This first series is about a young man, and is usually considered to tell many stories of romantic and sexual relationship. This sonnet compares what others may find pleasing to what the poet or young man considers pleasing. The first quatrain of this sonnet begins to talk about all the objects that men glorify. This is setting up the sonnet by giving a brief summary of objects that people take pride in. It implies that most people love objects. This isn't necessarily a bad connotation. It is only stating a basic truth about humans. There are two ways that the word glory is used. The first is used in a religious sense, which isn't how the word glory is used in the sonnet. The second use gives objects or things a sense of pride and honor. Shakespeare uses this connotation of glory to describe how men feel about certain objects. Everyone has something that they glorify, even if it is something small. What types of objects do you glorify? Whether it's a sports car, an animal, or a pet, or maybe the latest fashion designs. People today still glorify objects the same way that people glorified them in Shakespeare's time. The second quatrain is transitioning from what most men glorify into what the poet or young man glorifies. Everyone has a certain pleasure that they enjoy more than anything else. The first quatrain just described men's pleasures, and now it is time to learn about the pleasure of the young man. The young man doesn't find pleasure in these objects, but he does enjoy one thing better. Thy love is better than high birth to me, richer than wealth, prouder than garments cost, of more delight than hawks and horses be, and having thee, of all men's pride I boast. The young man glorifies love more than anything, more than riches and power, more than any physical object. Out of everything in the world that the young man can glorify, he chooses love. While he chooses love over all men's prides, the young man still boasts. Wretched in this alone, that thou must take, all this away, and me most wretched make. This possession that he holds over all others can disappear in the blink of an eye. This love that he enjoys can end at any moment. He has no control over his glory, unlike those of other men. They can choose the fate of their physical objects, but the young man only has so much control over his fate. His one true fear is that he will lose his love, and that would make him wretched inside. The young man only wanted one thing, love. He essentially gave up all their possessions so that he could have the only one that mattered to him. By doing this, he risks losing everything that he has so that he can keep the one that he desires.